Wonderful morning to you out there. It's really great to have you join us on the Break It On Papers Review this wonderful Saturday morning. My name is GBOLABO, famous school, and of course we have a couple of papers here to look at for the reviews this morning. We have the Punch newspaper, the Guardian, Nigerian Tribune newspaper, The Nation, Daily Post, and a host of other papers here up for review. All right, we start off with the Punch newspaper this morning. Nigerians risk deportation as UK scraps sponsorship for over 100 skilled jobs. Osun must refund 7-month local government allocations, AGF tells Supreme Court. Bloody ballot inside deadly battles for SUG leadership and varsities. Tinubu seeks time to verify 4 trillion naira GENCO debt. All right, other headlines here out of the Punch newspaper this morning. ASU to sue federal government over Unimaid renaming after Buhari. SDP crisis deepens as next sacks NWC members party disowns El-Rufai. How I bonded with Buchi Franklin for To Kill a Monkey. Lillian Afegbao. All right, in case you're just joining us, we're still taking headlines here on your Break It On Papers Review, 32 FM 94.9. That's the dial. And of course, still here on the front page of the Punch newspaper, a bit of Metro Plus page news. Arrested 11-year-old girl used to traffic drugs. That's according to Delta Police. And we also have here, lady arrested in Lagos for missing spoiled yam flour with harmful coloring. All right, PDP will come forth in 2027. That's according to Ayofashe. PDP in talks with Obi, other southern politicians, Jerry Ghana. Marginalization, northern groups back Kwankwaso as federal government Afenifere push back. 2 Edo Assembly members defects the APC. Delta APC denied sidelining members. And of course, before we leave the paper, we take one more. And this says Rashidi Kalani, the Chief Executive Officer of Aga Khan University Hospital in Nairobi, discusses the pressing issues on Africa development and transforming Nigeria's financial landscape. All of that is some of the highlights here from the headlines out of the Punch newspaper front page. All right, to the Nation newspaper, presidency to Kwankwaso, Tinubu not neglecting North. Tinubu reunites with class of 1999 governors at State House. EFCC warns against suspicious foreign airlines ticket promos. And more headlines here says presidency to Kwankwaso. All right, that taken. And here says how traffickers use online loan scholarships, orders to entrap victims. That's according to NAPTIP. SDP NEC dissolves Gambam-led NWC Secretary Faults process. And a bit of entertainment, lack of business knowledge affected many thespians. That's according to Odule. And Nelson emerges 24th Miss Earth Nigeria. A bit of lifestyle there. And still here on the front page of the Nation newspaper, Tinubu not marginalizing North. Afenifere replies Kwankwaso. Wike's visionary leadership, relentless pursuit of progress inspiring. That's according to Rivers Rep. Caucus. Coalition leaders motivated by self-interest desire to regain access to national resources. A group is coming up with that. APC France chapter congratulates Yowatda, pledges support for party unity growth. All right, all of that is some of the headlines captured here on the front page of the Nation newspaper. More headlines out of the Daily Post this morning. Nigeria versus Morocco. Super Falcons eye historic 10th title as home crowd await and WAFCON final showdown. More headlines here out of the Daily Post. Local government chairman sues Niger government over alleged tenure reduction. Niger. This says Niger. Police arrest man who exhumes grandmother's call for money rituals. Natasha Rep calls for reforms to tackle ambiguous judgments. And from budget to flagship, the Hot 60 series offers slim design, AI brilliance, and all-day power. That's a feature news there. And this says Ikeja Electric announces 25-day blackout in Lagos. Niger local government chairman sues state government over tenure court, seeks to hold November 1 elections. Nigeria better than US, Canada, Union VC. Professor Adeboye says. And the CDC wants Edo residents to relocate from flood-prone areas. Local government chairman sues Niger government over alleged tenure reduction. And Peter Obi gives reason for his 20 million naira donation to Unical's Faculty of Dentistry. And the PDP has reached out to Peter Obi, Jerry Ghana. Peter Obi visited Babangida Aliyu El-Rufai in Abuja. That's a bit of photo news. Tinubu asked me to join APC. That's Fayose. Tinubu APC North's shortest route to power. Fayose is still speaking. And more of politics, right? Business news here. Naira continues appreciation against US dollar as foreign reserves increase. All of that is some of the headlines there out of the Daily Post. All right, we do have Austin standing by ready to do the analysis proper for us this morning. But before we bring Austin on board, we take some few headlines more from the cable NG. And here on the news NG, Afenifere to Kwankwaso, your claim of northern neglect under Tinubu is incendiary. And Abdullahi Sule threatens to sue Benue University VC over false claim on insecurity. Fayose PDP will finish fourth in 2027 elections. Many leaders have been eased out. It's a matter of decency. Oshomola insists Obi should inform Okpebolo before visiting Edo. 14 killed as bandit ambush villagers returning from market in Plateau. Jerry Ghana, PDP is now a solid platform. We've reached out to Obi to return. Aliko Dangote retires as Dangote Cement chairman, ex-SEC official appointed as replacement. And we have ADC to APC. Asurok, not a party office, holding neck meeting there. An aberration. All right, over 4,000 inmates freed in push for justice reform, says Tunji Ojo. SDP the Sons El-Rufai says he's not a registered member. All right, we'll take one more and we'll have Austin on board. And this says Industrial Pharmacists Association flags off construction of research center in Anambra. And a bit of business, Disco announced power disruption in Lagos as TCN begins maintenance July 28. And Tinubu to Jenkos give us more time to verify 4 trillion naira electricity debt. Aliko Dangote retires as Dangote Cement chairman, ex-SEC official appointed as replacement. All of that is some of the engaging headlines there out of the cable this morning. We do have Austin now joining us to go into the analysis proper. Austin, good morning. It's good to have you back.
GBOLABO, good morning and thank you for having me.
All right, Austin. I guess we can start off with this discourse, especially with the 4 trillion naira debt that we are seeing here from the headlines as electricity debt. Now, Tinubu is telling the Gencos, which are more or less the companies that generate electricity, to give the presidency, the federal government, more time to verify 4 trillion naira electricity debt. Austin, should there even be an instance of debt at all within our electricity sector, in spite of the fact that it's one of the priority sector of the economy, or one that each government, each administration has always prioritized?
Yeah, if you look at the problem bedeviling the electricity sector, especially the distribution leg, which is called the DISCO, is a big problem. We must realize the fact that for any country to be industrialized, stability of electricity is a key. Is a key factor that needs to be considered, and that must be taken seriously by any government. Having said that, this sector was privatized in 2013. Now, the privatization was supposed to be like a gain to the country. Instead, it has become like pain. Because if you look at the operation right from the time of privatization, the discos are being owed instrumentally. I think about 3 or 4 years ago, they even came out to say that the government should pay off their liability. Some of them were not willing to continue operation any longer because the bulk electricity trading company, they paid these gencos, they pay them a fraction of their monthly invoice. They create a room for area. So when we talk about this 4 trillion debt, it is not a debt that just start accumulating today. It started accumulating from the inception. So the signing of the Electricity Act in 2023 by the president is trying to push for a cost-reflective tariff, meter program, and transmission upgrade and lifted collection. Now, what the federal government is saying is that we are ready to finance this debt, look for a way to pay it off in form of a bond. But before that is done, we are going to give us a little more time to be able to verify. For me, I want the federal government to do a forensic auditing because the truth of the matter is that some of these problems, when they are created, we don't get to hear of them. We get to hear of them much later. And when we hear of them much later, of course, we will tie it to the present. So that is the irony of the power sector. So I'm particularly delighted that for the first time, we have seen a government in Nigeria who was willing to look for a way to reduce this debt because we have debt of gas supply, we have debt of invoices that are not paid to them. For example, the best way to explain that is that if the bulk electricity trading company is supposed to pay, let's say 2 million per month, what they pay them is like 100,000. I'm just giving you an example.
Right.
So look at the differential of 1.9 million, what it will accumulate to at the end of a year, at the end of 2 years, at the end of 5 years. So that is the situation where we found ourselves. Under the Muhammadu Buhari administration, I think there was this loan that was given to them about 701 billion naira for a sector that hitherto have been privatized. But you know the account of the privatization. You know what happened with the privatization, that it was not properly done. So this is the level where we find ourselves. Because one of the primary purposes of privatization is to spur efficiency, to spur professionalism, and to spur our quality of output. But this is our own story as far as the electricity sector is concerned. So, like the federal government has promised, let them look at the books, whatever they can help, whatever that we need to do, let's do it. Because what an average Nigeria is concerned about is relative stability in power supply.
All right, Austin, still talking about power supply. Now, there is blackout looming in Lagos as TCN plans maintenance outage, and this, they are saying, is a critical repair that needs to be carried out. Now, the problem now is the blackout. Shouldn't we have some kind of off-peak period or hours that this can be done, that it won't affect many businesses and households and hospitals, essentials that people need as at this time? And when we have things like this, shouldn't we have like a rerouting of electricity, maybe from unaffected areas or breakup feeders? What exactly can be done that would reduce the burden on the people itself?
Well, this has to also do with the peculiarity of our nation. We are mostly a day life country. Our nightlife is not very strong, except for Lagos. If something like this is happening in Lagos, and we are going to do it during the day. And I also salute the courage of the what do you call it, Ikeja Electric, for coming out with that notice. because they said it will be between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Of course, there will still be power supply, but it's going to be epileptic, especially at night. If we were to have a very strong nightlife, for example, some of these things could be done at night. Do we have the technology? Do we have the manpower to be able to fix some of these problems at night? That's the major issue, because this major repair has to be done. If we don't do it, it's like postponing the evil days, because they have to change the feeders, they have to do some critical repair and overhaul some of their equipment along that power line. We are talking about 330 high power voltage, for example. So that is going to be a lot. Of course, I also reason that something can be done maybe going forward. I don't think we can do that for now, but going forward, what can we do? We see advanced countries doing construction overnight. By the time you pass a place in the afternoon, when you come back the following morning, you discover that some level of repairs has taken place overnight. But we are even talking about our own situation. You need light to work overnight. So it's a big problem. We took the problem of electricity the first time. Now we are discussing the issue of blackout. In as much as this is going to be temporary, of course, the repair is necessary. It will disrupt business activity, because power is everything. Nigerians can really do a lot when we have power. I've had to wake up for this program sometimes ago, and I find people in my street working, artisan, tailors, sewing cloth as early as 5 a.m. in the evening. So, which means that we are ordinarily enterprising, because there's no power supply, there's no relative stability in power, and we can't really do anything. There are times you go to Abbey Iwo Road as early as 5 a.m. You see people doing their business already, frying off and what have you, because there's street light and that place is illuminated. That cannot be done in the dark. So our government should know the importance of power. We must ensure that even if we cannot do any other thing, we must make power available. Because if you make power available, you don't need to provide direct job for people. People will fend for themselves. They will be able to make ends meet for themselves. So it's ordinarily expected that government becomes more proactive. But like I said earlier, there's nothing that we can really do about this. We will thank God for the notice in our own situation. But then going forward, we can deploy more of technology to carry out some of this repair without necessarily disrupting business activities.
All right, Austin. Nigerians risk deportation as UK scraps sponsorship for over 100 skilled jobs. And we know, as a matter of fact, Austin, that Nigerians with international experience and certificates, nursing, IT, construction, they're on high demand across the world itself. Would we look at some legal arrangements by attorneys or lawyers who can actually file on behalf of some of these companies and Nigerians that have this experience? Or what can the government do in terms of diplomatic ties and relation here so that Nigerians don't feel the heat?
Well, as far as what the government can do is about engagements. And one of the things I find strange with our government now is that some of these major countries of the world, there are no ambassadors, and that is very sad. By 2 years down the line, I believe that the president will have appointed ambassadors. If not for every countries of the world, they should have been able to appoint ambassadors for maybe the UK, for example, Canada, and the US. These are critical, and there are things that we must take into consideration, because when stuff like this happen, the ambassador, they will use their office to engage. Having said that, this is also about immigration policy. Immigration is a major issue across the world, especially in the UK, in US, and in Canada. So the government must look for a way to deal with it. But between you and I, as far as this matter is concerned, there is really no much the government can do, because what they are trying to do is to delist some occupation from COS eligibility. COS is Certificate of Sponsorship Eligibility. You know the story of COS, right? In Nigeria, some people will pay as much as £15,000 and they will be duped in the process. Some people will be given fake certificate of sponsorship. They will get to the airport. There is no work that is available for them. It will all be like a scam. Now, the UK government is saying that, oh, for the part of the employer, we are increasing the wage for employer to employ people in so and so sector or so and so occupation. You must have the capacity as an organization to pay so amount, which has been increased. So employer will find it difficult to be able to retain some of their workers. On the other hand, they are delisting some of the what they term less priority occupation that are not in high demand. They are trying to delist them from the list of eligibility, and that is a whole lot of problem. We are talking about close to 100 skill occupation that have been delisted. That means a whole lot for our people, because most of our people, apart from study, most of our people are in the UK, most especially for this skill work program that they have to get certificate of sponsorship for. So it's going to be a big problem. Of course, like I said earlier, the government of Nigeria cannot negotiate such reversal because it's an internal policy and it has to do with immigration. Whatever any country can do to strengthen their immigration, no other country reserve the right to look at it. But if we have representatives like our ambassadors, they can engage the government to be able to look at it. Recently in Canada, for example, close to 200 courses were delisted from postgraduate work permit eligibility. And all of a sudden, the Canadian government, few days or few weeks after, they realized that this will affect the economy. They had to reverse it back. There was no prayer on them. Nobody mounted prayer on them. They had to see it clearly and say, this is going to affect us. So some of these immigration policies that these countries are putting in place, temporarily they will affect Nigeria, especially Nigeria and India, for example, because we have the highest number of people who are in this country. However, if the government can engage through their various consular offices across this country, they can also register their presence, and at the end of the day, register our people, look for a way to make our people qualify for the new criteria for the new eligibility criteria for the new occupation that have been listed. So, but between you and I, GBOLABO, there is really no much that we can do to stop whatever that is coming, unfortunately so.
All right, we have this one to 2027. We're bringing Peter Obi back to PDP, and that is coming from Jerry Ghana, who is a former Minister of Information. Now, Austin, will this cause some sort of internal resentment? For instance, current loyal members of the party may feel that they are betrayed because eventually Obi may be given ticket to be part of the election itself, talking about the 2027 presidential election. Now, what also happens to public perception? Won't PDP be seen as a party which is just very desperate, to actually gain popularity at all costs? However, they don't care whose horse is God here.
Well, politicians can decide to move to wherever they go. First of all, it is about their fundamental human rights. And secondly, it is about their personal ambition. I will say that again. Politicians don't move because of people. If you are out there this morning and you think politicians move or they fight because of the common man, you are deceiving yourself. Then, if you look at Obi, a lot of people are saying that, oh, Atiku has exited the PDP, so it makes sense for Obi to come back. Don't forget, this same Obi was pushed out of PDP. In my view, the best bet for Obi for 2027 is still the Labour Party. Honestly, whatever issue, that is my personal opinion. I stand to be corrected, though I'm sitting down. I think that is the best bet for Peter Obi because of the obedient movement. There are some people, if Obi decide to move from Labour Party, they will not go with him. And don't forget the power play in the PDP. What if he is deceived? Jerry Ghana is not a governor in the PDP. There are some governors in the PDP who also equally have ambition. He's not a governor. He's just saying that, oh, we have invited him. We want him to come back. What if they deceive him and he comes back? There's no automatic ticket for him. What will happen? What if they don't give him the ticket? Will he now run out of the party again, die minute? A lot of people still feel that he did wrong by leaving ABGA. Now, from ABGA to PDP, from PDP to Labour Party, I believe that he can consolidate on some of the area of his strength in the build-up to 2027 election through the Labour Party. So whatever the crisis, one of the mistakes he made was that he allowed the crisis in the Labour Party to fester. It was serving like a plan B. Of course, some of his supporters argue that, he's more concerned about building the country at national level. You need a platform, you need a vehicle to get to the national level. So that is one thing that he should know. But for me, I don't think it makes sense, any political sense, for him to return to the PDP because the ticket might not be sure for him. I also believe that his bet shot for 2027, if he's going to contest, should be Labour Party. So he should do everything within his power to ensure that he fits the Labour Party.
All right, Austin, PDP is still talking PDP. PDP will finish fourth in 2027 election. That is Fayose speaking. Is already the electoral umpire ahead of the elections itself. Now, passing an aspersion on a political party that I don't know if he's still a member of that party. Is this healthy, especially for people who would say he's not patriotic here?
What is not healthy is merely expressing his own opinion. He has one vote, right? That is about his own opinion. Jerry Ghana said Peter Obi should come back to the PDP. He's expressing his opinion. Everybody is expressing their opinion. In that interview, if you listen very well, Fayose also said he is still a member of the PDP, that he can decide to move to any party of his choice, that there was a time he even met with Mr. President. Mr. President invited him to come to the APC, and he told him no. And you know Fayose is only emphasizing how badly the crisis in the PDP was managed or had been managed. That if care is not taken, if they go into the election the way it is now, they are going to come out fourth. That is his personal opinion. There is nothing Eddie, there is nothing on Eddie in his comment. It is now left for the PDP to ensure that they take first in the next election. There is a proverbial saying that if you cause a child that this child we are going to die in the bush, the child should be walking towards the road. The child is caused that we are going to die in the bush is always found in the thick forest, which means that particular cause, if care is not taken, you want to help that cause to be fulfilled upon yourself. So he merely expresses his opinion. It's not God. It's only God that knows who will be alive to witness 2027. And PDP still has the opportunity to redeem himself and ensure that he come up with a good showing. So the point I'm making is that the prediction of Fayose based on the circumstances in the PDP now is not a finality. It's just like a clarion call that the PDP can work upon.
Would we now say he's trying to realign himself or position himself to join another political party or political shift here that we are likely to see?
He said so in the interview. He said if he like, he can join any party. He mentioned APC, he mentioned ADC, he mentioned Labour Party. Don't forget, he's free to join any party of his choice. Where is the PDP presidential candidate for 2023? Where is the PDP vice presidential candidate for 2023? Where are some of their governors? If there's anybody who have been loyal and have stayed in the PDP for too long, even outside power, you must give it to Fayose. So if he decide, he can decide to go to any party. That is his choice. He can decide to remain in the PDP. In short, we must salute him, because there are some people who have never left PDP since they joined the party. But some people, once they cannot get the ticket, they will jump. Once they think that, it's not going to favor them, they will jump. So it is the right of an average Nigeria, especially politicians, that is what they are known for, to move from one party to the other. But today, Fayose said he is still a member of the PDP.
All right, Dustin, we have to go on this break right about now. When we come back, we'll be having more on the Break It Down Papers review. Please do stay with us.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
Every day when my children return from school, I don't recognize them. Hello, do I know you?
It's us, mommy.
But these dirty sweaty uniforms and socks, we're clean in the morning. Everything don't transform. I understand though, school is hectic. It takes energy to come home this transformed. So I make sure they have some nutritious Milo at breakfast.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo. I'm in love. Sonia tomato mix, stand up.
Airtel tomato mix in a new standard pouch. Kò bá jẹ́ 24, 29 tàbí 32 ṣáà ti fẹ̀yìn ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú wa lórí gbogbo ìkànnì ìbánidọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ kàn tẹ 32FM 949 fẹ̀yìn ẹ̀.
Ṣadé. Adé, ó tún ti dé.
Tí kì í gbé ṣayé lónìí sẹ́. Kí n ra káàdì pé sórí Airtel rẹ. Màá sọ di ìlọ́po méjì ní kíákíá. Màá tún fi dátà dé ládé. Kí n tó wá fẹnu mẹ́nu rẹ.
Ẹnu dùn rò fọ̀. Ṣé ìwọ gangan ló fẹ́ ṣe gbogbo èyí? Àbí Airtel over Jara Extra?
Abẹ́rẹ́ nǹkan Airtel over Jara Extra ni Adé fi ń gbé Ṣadé mọ́ra o. Ra síìmù Airtel lónìí kí o jàǹfààní lọ́nà mẹ́rin. Ìyẹn jẹ́ wípé wàá jẹ̀gbádùn káàdì ìlọ́po méjì pẹ̀lú dátà ìlọ́po méjì. Kò wá tán síbẹ̀ o. Airtel á tún fún ẹ ní ẹ̀bùn ìkíni káàbọ̀ ẹgbẹ̀rún náírà àti dátà ìlọ́po méjì fún oṣù mẹ́ta. Tí o bá lo Airtel tẹ́lẹ̀, o lè tẹ *414*2# láti gbádùn àǹfààní yìí. Ìlànà àti ètò wà tí ó ń ṣàkóso èyí. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Ọ̀rẹ́ mi tí ń bẹ nílùú òyìnbó sọ pé àwọn máa ń ra electronics wọ́n sì máa sanwó ẹ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀ bí wọ́n ti ń gbowó lẹ́nu iṣẹ́. Ṣùgbọ́n ní Nàìjíríà wa yìí ó máa gba 20,000 naira wọ́n sì máa retí pé kó kó 500,000 naira wà lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà láti fi ra nǹkan. Bó bá fẹ́ ra TV náà ó máa towó jọ bí ẹni dọ́jọ́ ìgbéyàwó sọ́nà.
Àlàyé farabalẹ̀ ṣé o ti gbọ́ nípa CDK ni.
Ó dé o, CDK kí ni?
Níbẹ̀ lèmi ti ra fóònù ọwọ́ mi tó ń wò yìí, fìríìjì, washing machine, home theatre tí mo sì ń sanwó díẹ̀díẹ̀. Kódà kò ní owó èlé kankan, iye tán sì ń tà lọ́jà gan-an. Onímúra.
Irọ́ o, ṣé lóòótọ́? Wọn ò fowó kankan kún kẹ̀.
Ọ̀rẹ́ wa, wọn ò fowó kankan kún. Kódà gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tí mo rà lọ́dọ̀ wọn ni wọ́n ti gbé fún mi tí n sì ti sanwó mi tán tí mò ń sanwó mi díẹ̀díẹ̀. Ọ̀rẹ́ wa, kí ló dé tó ń yọra rẹ lẹ́nu? Ǹjẹ́ ló mọ̀ pé pẹ̀lú CDK o lè ra àwọn nǹkan èlò inú ilé tó sì máa sanwó díẹ̀díẹ̀?
Download CDK báyìí lórí Google Play Store tàbí App Store.
CDK, making life easier.
Start your day and have a good time.
Kivo Creamer.
And when you need to have the break time.
Kivo Creamer.
It's not tea, papa garita.
Kivo Creamer. Kivo Creamer.
Win 20,000 Naira daily with Cocoa Box and 32FM. Partnering with 32FM 94.9, Cocoa Box offers you a chance to win 20,000 Naira daily with just 500 Naira. Here's how to play. 1. Dial *347*253# and follow the prompts. 2. Indicate the number of times you want to play. 3. It generates a one-time account number for payment. 4. Make payments via your bank app, USSD, or visit a nearby POS with generated account number. Important, the account number is valid for a few minutes and for that specific transaction only. Please note that if you don't complete the transaction on this generated account, you won't be able to create another one. Increase your chances. Play multiple times to boost your odds of winning. Draw schedule. Raffle draw 9:30 a.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., and 5 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. Every week, 32 people will win 20,000 Naira each. 8 lucky winners daily, each winning 20,000 Naira. And 3 people will win 100,000 Naira every Friday. Get started. Dial *347*253# now and win big with just 500 Naira.
Feel better about your life.
32 FM 94.9, the antidote to depression.
All right, you're welcome back. It's still on to Break It Down Papers Review here. And Austin, I want us to quickly touch on this before we start picking calls. And this says there is pressure on Osun governor to defect to APC. That's according to former governor of Osun, that's Oyinlola. Austin, would we say this is manipulative and against the doctrines of democracy? And won't it be like a de facto one-party state when we have instances of having the ruling party trying to coerce or ensure that a particular seat in government joins and everyone joins a particular political party? Is it a one-party state? Are we looking at a de facto one-party system, a dominant party system here?
Well, it is also, if you talk about dominant party, I agree with you. There are dominant parties everywhere in the world. There are a lot of parties and there will be some that will be dominant. But then, anybody that says is coerced to join a political party, the person is just deceiving the public. You have the right. Look at what Fayose said. He said the president personally has told him to come to APC, and it told him no, as at that time. So I don't think there should be anybody that will say, oh, I was coerced, in as much as you were not at gunpoint. They should take well-informed political decision. But some of these governors that are moving up and down, how far have they done well in their respective states? That's the issue. If you have done well and the people are with you, even if you are coerced, there's nothing anybody can do, you will still win election. There are some people who have been witch-hunted in the time past and they still continue to win election. There are some people that were even hunted by the EFCC, yet they never moved from their party. Look at Fayose, for example. EFCC almost declared him wanted. They say, oh, the land border, you should not allow him to go. The air, you should not allow him to go before he left office. They almost declared him wanted, but he had to surrender himself to the FCC. What happened to the case at the end of the day? Did it because of that cross carpet? He didn't. So anybody that tells you that, they are pressurizing, there is pressure in politics. People will definitely come to lobby, to negotiate, to want to convince you to join them or what have you. But if you are with the people and you think you are doing well and you think you have street credibility and popularity, there don't be any sentiment. And mind you, Nigeria cannot become a one-party state. We have had a situation before where a ruling party had 29 governors, and yet we didn't become one-party state. That's the beauty of democracy. Some people will cross to this side, other people will cross to that side. But politicians should know what they are doing. But all of them, they are not in the interest of the people. It's about them and their ambition.
All right, we have to open the phone lines right about now. The numbers are 070-55,949 or 080-97,949 plus 234-90-62,949. We're also live on Facebook in case you want to drop your comments. That's 32FM Fenya on Facebook with double A's. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, GBOLABO.
Good morning, sir.
I greet Oga Augustine. My name is Ade from UI. Where you stopped on the election that you can book, you say about popularity. It's about so many funny things on the election day. Look at what happened in Kogi State. Bidomilai was stayed at home. It don't allow him to go and vote a candidate under APC, under Tinubu. Look at the way they changed the election in Edo. They did not collect the election only for somebody to be announced, and judiciary declared the election valid. So when you look at all these things, GBOLABO, and taking Adeleke to Abuja with Davido and all of that, the issue is that join APC if you want to be announced. I think that was going on. If it's about popularity, Adeleke would have not joined. And if he joined, the space is not clear for him. Maybe they want to set him up. So on Labour Party, Augustine has said it right. Labour, we supposed to remain in Labour, but the bottom line is Tinubu has also crippled the Labour and all the political parties because Tinubu is gypsy. I'm telling you, GBOLABO, he's panicking. Look.
All right, do we still have
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes,
he's meeting with 1999 governors. If you let him meet with all African former governors, he's going to lose. He's panicking. That's the bottom line, GBOLABO. But people who don't want to know, they want to take that reality. But he knows. Those are the best of today.
All right, thank you so much, Adi, for that. The numbers again are 070-55,949 or 080-97,949 plus 234-90-62,949. We're also live on Facebook, 32FM 949 Fanya with double A's, and also on YouTube in case you want to drop your comments. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Olusegun. I'm calling from Ring Road, Ibadan.
All right, please go ahead, Olusegun.
All right, the man Fayose still remains a controversial figure. I remember while growing up in the 90s, there was one publication, in fact, an obituary that he was dead then. Then I think he was running a car industry around Ring Road called Sportlet. And because of insolvency and he ran into a lot of debt, that person, I don't know if it's Oluwayoshi or Fayose, and that person printed an obituary that he was dead so that they can avoid. So I don't know if he resurrected or is a reincarnation of some sort. Nigerians don't ask questions. That's one of our bins, and we forget so easily. So I don't know if it's just someone like that, Buhari, the Jubre matter. That one should be trashed out before it can be, brought back into the mainstream of Nigerian politics. We need to know about the past of our leaders. And there was this issue of that certificate from Oluwayoshi to Fayose. So we need to find out those things. And there are still some people that are printers that printed that obituary around Ring Road or somewhere and all that. Find out very well.
All right, that's interesting to hear. Thank you so much for that. Actually, that doesn't relate with the issues here on the headlines this morning. Please, let's keep to the headlines issues here so that we won't deviate. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. GBOLABO is talking from Lagos.
All right.
On the issue of virus, to me, virus did not need to tell us that Mr. President trying to join APC. Virus is already working with APC. Maybe you have forgotten about the last election that put the governor of APC stay there. So you're working against the party and supported the APC there. To me, that's even he himself has already leave the PDP one time and went to the Labour Party. So to me, all these things that the politicians is talking now, are just talking for themselves, not talking for anybody. So telling Nigerians that Mr. President going to join APC, if you just drop it, even in 2027, who are you going to work for? Even the EFCC, the court that even that even believe you. I don't know what is transpired now. You go against Mr. President. You don't need to cross the APC before you can work with Mr. President. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much for that. On Facebook, we do have some comments as well. We'll take some comment here from Facebook, and we have this one, and this is from. All right, I'll start from the top, and this is from Fawole Femi. Says, good morning, GFC. Good morning to you too. Good morning, Austin. It says, I disagree with the position of former Governor Fayose on PDP. The election is still barely 2 years ahead, and a day is a long time in the political game. It's now the choice of members of the PDP to prove him right or wrong. Honorable 𝐂𝐿𝐒, the caller says, Obi is jumping from one party to the other. He's not different to typical Nigerian politicians. I guess that's what she wants to say, and who are hungry for power. Another which I must say, be a party candidate of any political party doesn't make a good leader. Obi should stay in one party and not do what we call otaton politics. All right, we also have Sulaiman Jerry says, Nigerian government should intervene. The position of 10,000 from UK is catastrophe considering, all right, some part of it is missing. Is that considering that those Nigerians sold virtually everything they had before leaving. All right, to look at the says the exit of Atiku from PDP will go a long way in stabilizing their party and zoning their tickets to the south is another smart move by them. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, GBOLABO.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. Can you hear me, GBOLABO?
Loud and clear, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay. All right. Good morning, Austin. I want to ask Austin. My name is Tony Brown. Sorry.
Right.
I want to ask Austin. Have we benefited from the privatization policy of 2013 of the electricity in Nigeria? For me, we have not benefited. That privatization, for me, was just a way of, Obasanjo, Chief Obasanjo, former president, trying to, please some of his party members and cronies. Because the truth is, you privatize a system, and then you are still funding that system. And now we are talking about trillions. I think I will employ states to start generating power for their citizens. If we keep waiting for this federal government and their privatization and we will just be rolling in a circle. The state should produce power, provide power for their citizens. I think that's the best way to go. And finally, Fayose, 𝐒𝐈𝐒 and co. have not left PDP, and they are gotten PDP within from the inside. They want to be these people. Fayose and 𝐒𝐈𝐒 are working, and some of them are working for President Bola Tinubu 2027. So Fayose saying that they call him, he don't play politics. The truth is that he's working for APC. And so, for me, if it is better for them to come clear than to eat up PDP within. 𝐒𝐈𝐒 has said he's working for President Bola Tinubu for 2027. So what else do we want to? The same with Fayose and co. If Fayose had loved the PDP, why can't he? Why it's one of the stakeholders? Why didn't he make sure that the party is strong and strong? And then he said that the truth is, if the party can reach out to Obi and Obi can join them, let it be. Obi has stood the election before and got over 6 million votes. And I'm sure with PDP, if PDP works well, he can still do something. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Toyin Brown, for that. Still here on Facebook, we have Honorable Akinkumi Camille Dakolo too here, and he's saying some people talk politics, all right, and he's saying some people talk politics from the corner of their room. Someone who was not in power, who's the party member, was not supported and still win the ticket of the party and still go to win the highest seat in the land. Someone is now saying his G3, all right. I can take some part of it more. We take this call, and of course, we have to leave the studios right about now. Hello, good morning.
I'm John Nuzon. Thank you for this program. Let me tell you, Fayose worked against his own party during the gubernatorial election. You are aware, and whether you like it or not, both the Fayose and the Eze, they have the same feathers. They are likely not going to work for PDP even in the presidential election. The day the Supreme Court made it verdict, Wike was among those who visited the president and pledging his loyalty that he will work for him 2027 presidential election. That is, regrettably, PDP has a lot of work. It cannot go to presidential election alone. PDP cannot go it alone and PDP is going to win the election. They have to find an alliance with some of these political parties. I'm John Nuzon. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, John Nuzon. Back to you, Austin. We have to leave the studios right about now. Your last shot, Austin, as we leave the studios this morning. Austin, do we still have you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Two things. I think somebody said yeah, I'm with you.
All right, please go ahead. Go ahead, Austin.
Somebody said that Obasanjo privatized power in 2013. That cannot be correct. It was not Obasanjo. It was done under former President Goodluck Jonathan. On the issue of Fayose, well, officially he said he's still in PDP, but he has always said it, that he's supporting the South for two-term presidency and that he's supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
All right.
He has said it. We are only talking about whether he has left the party or he's still within the party. So those who are claiming that some people are forcing them, they are only deceiving themselves. Tinubu was also witch-hunted under Obasanjo, but he stood firm. He didn't cross carpet. He didn't yield to prayer. So let people also be able to play their politics well, rather than giving all manner of excuses to leave their party.